Hello everyone, welcome to Rockstar Gaming. My name is Eric. Today we're going to be doing our part 2, trying to find my knife for the unboxing, part 2 of our unboxing series on Masters of the Universe Clash for Eternia, the board game, or Masters of the Universe, the board game, Clash for Eternia, whatever it is going to be. Today we're going to be doing, for part 2, the Box of Power. This is the stretch goal box and daily giveaway box for Masters of the Universe, the board game. This is the box that all the stretch goals came through, and then but all the daily unlocks also came in, as well as a few other things thrown in there. So this is what we're going to be looking at today. This is going to be part 2. Go ahead also and check out, it'll all be in a playlist. Hopefully you came here from there, but also check out the part 1, which was the core box, the cards, me kind of going through those cards and figuring out what was not what, all that stuff. But anyway, this is going to be the Box of Power. So let's look here at said Box of Power. So this artwork is interesting. I don't remember where exactly it came from, but this artwork on the main, not the main game, on the Box of Power is actually artwork used for promotional stuff back in the 1980s. Now, majority of the characters that are on the front here, or this cover here, are in the game, with the exception of this evil version of Zor, which is was basically the repaint from the Sorceress Zor figure that was out, and then both this version of He-Man and Skeletor not in the game whatsoever. There's alternate versions of both He-Man and Skeletor in the game, more Skeletors for some reason than He-Man, but those are not in the game. And then of course the vehicles that are shown on here and Snake Mountain itself not in the game. But let's go ahead and yeah, it's just the same artwork is on the top and the bottom, nothing additional. But here is the back of the box here with all the various characters. Goes over the fact that you need to have Clash for Eternia core box in order to play this game, and that to have the power, the Box of Power, you need to be apparently 14 and up. So let's go over here, grab our knife, and get this going. Now, I will say, though, I am very excited for this. Again, if you saw the other video, you know I grew up watching He-Man in the 80s. Back then, we didn't have any streaming or anything like that, so basically everything that we had to watch it was from syndication, being able to just see it when it was on, at the time that it was on. Very weird concept in today's world. But anyway, like I said, I like everything in this box. There are a couple choices in this box. Actually, we'll go ahead and turn it over so I can kind of point them out a little bit. There are a couple choices in this box of wondering why they did it this way instead of doing it another way. First off, right here, we've got Commander Man-at-Arms with his mace weapon. Now, me thinking back about Man-at-Arms in the TV show, that's in the action figures I had, that's how I always remembered him, not with a blaster. So the fact that they basically have the same figure, just with a different weapon, is kind of weird. The trap jaw also is, in my mind, a little bit weird for that. I don't mind the alternate versions of Skeletor and where is it, Hordak here, because right here we got Terraclaw Skeletor, Laser Light Skeletor, Hurricane Hordak. Those are cool because they're completely alternate sculpts, alternate ways of looking at those characters. But then somewhere in here, right, Battle Axe He-Man. Basically the same He-Man, just with the Battle Axe. I don't know why they didn't use, the one on the front cover of this box. Sculpt-wise, why they didn't use, I don't remember which one it is, but it's a red one that used the, little pop cap things for, the pop cap guns and stuff like that, I think you put it in the back of the figure. Again, I don't know why they didn't use those sculpts for this, but at least... but yeah, interesting choices for stretch goals that they did when there are kind of I always bring it up because it's the main video from the channel, or main series that we covered on the channel, but there's definitely a lot of characters that are Masters of the Universe characters that didn't get put into this game for one reason or another, and just some of the fact that some of the duplicates that we did get it's interesting that we got those instead of like other like unique figures. So anyway, that's my one thing on that. I'm not going to harp too much on it because everything else in this box is pretty nifty, pretty cool. So we're going to go ahead and put the box lid there. Here is the box of power, and they are scenario specific, I think, to, yeah, so specific to this box. So as I said in the other video, they expanded the scenario book in the main game, so that way they didn't have like a whole bunch of separate scenarios that were basically the same scenario, like the same escort quest scenario, the same this, that, other scenario. So the stuff in here is specific to this this box, like He-Man everywhere and Skeletor everywhere. That's definitely going to be one where you utilize the He-Man and Skeletor little mini minions. Save the Holidays, that was the holiday one. Coup de grace. Let's see, I'm not sure what. I think this one's using the mounts, which are in the other games too, so I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But anyway, so this one uses the lake, which again, that's yeah, I don't know why. But yeah, anyway, so this is going to use specific things from this box for the most part to do those things. So here is our other token sets. The I think the health tracker tokens for all the characters here that are in this box, which is all of these various tokens. You have tokens that are specific to the characters in this box, like the gas cloud right here. And then I think these were alternate art cards for the terrain in the game. Whenever they say, "Oh, here's alternate art for those," I think they were stretch goals too. Stretch goals or unlocks. I can't remember which one they were. But like I said, they did that in the game as well. So there is your token sets. Now, let's see. We got these trays right here, these boxes. We'll go ahead and take a look at that right there. And these are clear containers that were given away. I think these were what held the power cubes, or you can have them hold the power cubes there. One side's the power sword, one side's lightning bolt, I'm assuming for power cubes. So there is that right there. And I'm not going to go through and open all these necessarily. There's the various things right there. So this box is interesting because this one I feel like this is one of the things I want to look at. I feel like this box did a little bit better job of making room for sleeving the cards, because you've got a well here, an empty well here. You got the 4 wells here that are not filled up with 2 empty wells here. These right here are basically just sitting there like that. You can take these tokens and whatnot, store them in those. So it's not like you have to use these wells for that kind of thing. But yeah, this is actually pretty nice that they give you this extra room. I don't know how many of the cards from the main game can fit in here as well with this. I don't know why you'd want to separate them out though. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty good. So yes, this box does accommodate sleeve cards, it looks like. There's not that many tokens. And again, like I said, you can always put the tokens in these boxes right here. You don't want to necessarily have them here flipping around. And I think they kind of expect you to put the tokens back in here just because the way the box was created. This wasn't just sitting there. It's actually grooved to go back in there. So there's that. So we're going to look at some of the cards. This was the deck that I kind of wanted to look at. So it gives a little bit of information about the terrain. We'll push that over. Right there. It's going to give some cards in here I can see already for the terrain, but then it also gives those lesson cards. So it's the lesson cards that I'm pretty sure it was not making fun of, but kind of, sorry, it's really windy outside, so I think something was just scratching against my window over here to the side. But I think they were like less than a day cards, kind of like how at the end of the cartoon, there would always be a moral or a lesson, and I think that's what these cards right here, the one with Orko on it. Let's see. So there is a terrain card, and it is Moss, which I think was Moss Man if you read through the updates on the CMON Kickstarter page. So there's that. So we got Moss. We've got Stink Clouds. That was another one. That's what those cloud items were for. Stink Clouds right there. And then the other one is Webs. Those were the 3 main terrain cards in this set. And then cards for the mounts. I'm assuming for controlling the mounts. I haven't gone through the actual rules yet. I just know that the mounts, all but Strider, are able to... yeah, I think all but Strider has a mounted version and an unmounted version. He's the only one that actually just has the mount version. So there's those 3 cards right there. And then the 2 minion cards for the clone He-Man and the clone Skeletors. So there's that right there. And then finally, we've got the Lesson of a Day cards right here. Does say on there, whatever that says, keep this deck face down at the end of the game, shuffle the deck, and then draw a card and read 1 card. It says the same thing on both sides of the card. Let's go ahead and we'll read the last one. So, it says cunning. If you won by being a do-gooder, then you got lucky this time. That's all. If you lost, maybe try being more cunning and sneaky next time. You can go get away with all sorts of things that they'll never see coming. So that is apparently the lesson of the day. Until next time, my friends. And there you go. So that's going to be a set of cards, each with someone on it from, looks like characters from the main box. No one from the stretch goals, sadly. But there is all of those cards right there. That's all the regular size cards. And we're going to go to, let's go to this small pack right here of the small mini American cards. Now, if you are sleeving your cards, like I said, these are, like I said, mini American. I purchase specifically, not sponsored, anything like that, just what I prefer. I get the Game Genic cards myself. I think these are just, yeah, these are just the cards that are, these are just those cards that have the pictures of the faces on them. That's what all these are right here. So nothing major on there. You can kind of see the artwork up close of what they were going for there. There's many faces. One of my favorite toys. One of the favorite ones I used to own. There is King Grace Seagull, which I have a funny story about that character. Yep, this one's rare. So there are those cards right there. Like I was saying, for the sleeves, I have a box down here of sleeve. So like I said, I go with the Game Genics. So the many American sleeves are what you would use for these cards right here. And then the other cards over here are going to use standard card size, standard game cards, regular board game card, a regular standard card game right there. It's basically going to fit your Pokemon cards and that kind of stuff. Right there. These cards, from what I can gather, use sleeves that are made for Dixit. Again, from Game Genic, Dixit and Mysterium. So the 81 by 122 is from what I can tell. Haven't actually tested that yet. We'll test that here in a minute, actually, though. But we're gonna go with anyway. Yeah, let's go with this pile right here. I didn't want to open all these because we're, what, 15 minutes of me recording this right now, almost. I do want to get to the actual figures here just because, a couple reasons why. I just want to make sure all the figures are okay. Make sure that nothing got damaged. Make sure nothing got duplicated. And something wasn't missing from the deck. So we're still on the These are all the heroic ones. So there is some skill cards here for Extender. So there's a Shield Bash card right there. So there's that. We'll look at another one. This looks like Fisto with his counter blow card right here. And these cards, I don't know if I said it in the other one, are double-sided, so they have 2 different effects on the card right there. And once I actually get through the rules and everything, we'll see how that actually runs. But yeah, there is those cards. I'm not going to, again, open up these cards because they are pretty much going to be, yeah, I'm pretty sure these are going to be the exact same. Yep, exact same. So we're going to open up the big pile of large cards so that way we can A, see them, and B, make sure that the Dixit sleeves work on them. I hope so, because I bought 2 packs to cover all the cards in the game. So, oh, there's that. So we'll grab a couple here. So there is Extendar's card right there. And there is the other side of his card. That kind of gives you a little bit of what they're going to look like. These aren't the... These are the main player ones because they don't say anything in here about controller or anything like that. Strider on Fisto, Zor, Whiplash, Blast Attack, all those characters. There's Hurricane Hordak right there. And let's see. These are going to be all those characters, and then this is the AI character, the AI version of Extendar, as an example. Again, I'm not showing him primarily because of the fact that, you know, he's my favorite character or anything like that. It's one of the few, from what I remember of owning of this game, this is one of the few characters, and Snout Spout, apparently, that I did not have. I did have, I don't remember which one of the stone characters was, but there's Stone Dart right there. I did have 1 or 2 of these guys when I was growing up. Roboto I had, Mossman, Clamp Champ I had, Mechanic, yes, Many Faces, Fisto I had, Buzz Off, Hero and King Grayskull. Hero and King Grayskull, I think I do have from the Masters of the Universe Classic Collection that came out in the early 2000s. King Grayskull I actually do have. It is open, unfortunately, but I do have, I think unfortunately it's in my garage. The one from the Comic-Con one, had to order it, that had like the Castle Grayskull that actually opened up and lightning and everything went off. Had to get it replaced 3 times because I think 3 times in a row, it arrived at my house with one of the ankle joints broken. I basically opened up the box and the foot is just flying around inside the box. Yeah, and it happened 3 times. I think 2 lefts and a right. It was like left and then next one right, then left. Yeah, it was annoying. But yeah, these are going to be the AI controller cards for all the characters. I don't think there's anything else in here that... Nope, that's all that, those characters right there. So that is going to be all the characters. And then while we're sitting here doing the unboxing and, I don't know, advertising, I guess, we're going to take a Gamegenic sleeve, make sure these actually fit. And if it doesn't, we'll just cut this part of the video. So there's that. Put Extendar in there. And if you were looking at the Gamegenic sleeves, again, I'm doing the matte ones. That is how those Dixit sleeves fit the card. So that is actually very snug. There's not anything really on the sides, on the top, anything like that. That is actually a pretty good fit for a card. So will this fit in here? And it fits. So yeah, that is going to be the card sleeves that you're going to want to use for Masters of the Universe as I try to get that back in there. So now, I'm pretty sure because this tray is shallow, that the next thing we're going to look at, we're going to put it over here, is going to be our miniatures for the game. I'm going to do this. Come on. Nope, come on, maybe. Oh, come on. There you go. All right, so that is nothing in the box. So we're going to have, actually, we'll put the box over here for now. So this is going to be our bottom tray. This is what the bottom tray looks like there, and then we're going to have our top tray right there. The top tray looks like it's going to have the objective tokens, the plastic boulders, all the He-Man and Skeletor clones. Laserlight Skeletor. Looks like this tray is going to be all the villains. This tray is going to be all the heroes. The bottom tray is going to be all the heroes, the riderless versions of the mounts, the NPC characters, and the 2 different types of deadly plants that were in the game. So let's go ahead and see what this looks like. And I say villains, it's evil warriors. But I know that, like, in the game they didn't really, like, they say evil warriors and whatnot, but there's a lot of scenarios where you can do either with playing as good guys, bad guys, how the controller cards work. So so it's just whatever you want to play with or as. So this is the tray. That's a lot of noise. Microphone's right here. That is going to be how far I can lift it up. That is going to be the tray that those characters are in. Let me go ahead and place this back down. We'll kind of look at a couple characters on their own. They actually have some very nice detailing. I didn't notice, I mean, I kind of did on the last video. I was looking at it, but these I'm actually stopping to take a look at. I don't know if it was like really late at night and I was really tired on the last one. I had Terraclaw Skeletor. That's what this one is right here. Because I remember always having, I don't remember what happened to the actual figure, but I remember always having as a kid those stinking claws and using them on other characters, but or at least trying to. So, but yeah, there's Terraclaw Skeletor. His big gimmick was the giant claws, giant claw fists. So there is that right there. Let's see. I think this is Scareglow. He's going to be pretty interesting to paint right there. So that is him right there, looking pretty awesome. Is there another Skeletor figure in here? I think there is. Can I put you back in the box? Yep, there you go. Let's see. Well, there's a mini Skeletor we can use. That is going to be, I already have a hard enough time. Oh, come on, zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom. 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 Oh, no, he's not going to want to zoom. No, so I won't show that one. So anyway, I already have a hard enough time painting like D&D size miniatures, which these are probably a little bit bigger than a D&D style miniature. But if I do end up ever painting these are going to be a pain. Because I feel like these are about the same size as a like a gnome or halfling miniature. Yeah, there's no paint eyes on that. That's or the mouth. That's a wash. That's gonna be just putting wash on it and hoping for the best. So there's the other Skeletor right next to the first Skeletor I looked at. So this is, I think, was it Laser? I can never remember names. Laser Light, that's what I was gonna say. Laser Light Skeletor. This very much to me, and I actually just saw it. I watched it recently. This looks like the Frank Langella Skeletor a little bit, just because of the cape and everything. Yeah, that's definitely what that one looks like. To me, very underrated. I mean, terrible, but very underrated movie. Right there, the actor, I think it was Frank Langella, the actor they got to play Skeletor. He was definitely putting his heart in that movie. There is Clawful. I again had these characters watch the show. It's been the 35 years since I've watched it. So, oh, come on. There is Clawful right there. And the camera does not want to zoom in on some of these people. Focus. Nope, not going to focus. There we go. And it's focused enough. Also, I have a light in front of my monitor, so it's really hard to see. But anyway, that is going to be the evil characters. Also, here are the objectives, which is just the Sword of Power right there. I may, if depending on, I have to look through the scenarios, depending on if these all need to be, probably don't. I was going to say, if they all needed to be the same color, I would just grin and bear it and make them the same color. But it would actually be interesting to go through and look at when the game was originally released, since there's 6 of these, look and see what the original, see if there was at least 6 different colors of the Power Sword released, and then paint those each one, so that way you can kind of be like, oh, I'm going for the blue objective, I'm going for the red objective, and kind of doing that. Because I know the Power Sword, there was a gray one, of course, for He-Man. There was a purple one for Skeletor. Prince Adam had like a maroonish one, I want to say. I'm sure other versions of He-Man had different colors versions of the sword, so it'd be kind of interesting to kind of like, try to paint these close to what those original toys looked like. So let's go ahead and place that there, move this over, and take a look at the bottom tray, which will be easier to identify which way it goes because of those things right there. So, figures I definitely wanted to look at in here. There is Fisto on Strider, which, again, I'm pretty sure I had both these figures. I know I had the horse. I have Fisto, or did I have... I had the other one, Jitsu. I think that was what the name was, the one they didn't put in the game. That had the karate chop metal hand on the other side there. There is, let's see if we go through here, Zor, which, again, another figure that I had as a kid. Just basically quoting all the money I don't have from, still having these figures and being able to sell them as an adult. Let's see here, another He-Man. There's that right there. There's the Battle Axe He-Man. I don't see... because I saw a couple of people not complaining, but mentioning figures that were swapped, which I don't see that in here. Let's see here. Well, since we showed off all his cards, there's Extendar. Right there. There we go. There's the center. Let's see. Here are the 3D plants that we absolutely had to have as a stretch goal. And let's see, there is Adam, Prince of Eternia and Defender of the Secrets of Castle Grayskull, right there. Oh, come on, can you zoom? Nope, zoom. There you go, focus. That's what I want to say. So there is that one right there, King Randor. I have him from the Classics line. Most of the Classics figure I still have. They're just boxed up. There is Cringer, who for scale, because as you know from the cartoon, they make him, this Power Sword makes him a little bit bigger. So there is that scaled with Battle Cat, right there. Oh, it goes like that. Let's see, anything else I want to show off specifically in here? There's King Grayskull again right there. All right, and then finally we'll go with one of the other characters I owned as a kid. There is Buzz-Off right there. So overall, all these sculpts, all the ones I've looked at, especially the mounts, look very, very well done. These are very detailed sculpts. I wish I had time to paint. I really do. Swiftwind, that might actually be my favorite. There. Swiftwind right there. So, Yeah, that actually might be my favorite here. But anyway, all these characters look phenomenal, look amazing. Everything looks good in here. My only gripe in this game, the way they presented it, is that I mean, it's somewhat growing on me in this box just because of the miniatures are actually looking really good. But I don't too much care for the color on the heroic figures. I wish it would have been a different color. But anyway, all these characters look fantastic, look phenomenal. I like everything on here. Again, would have changed the color. I don't know what I would have changed the color to. That's the only problem. So yeah, anyway, this is everything for Masters of the Universe, Clash for Eternia, the Box of Power. Be sure to watch, if you haven't watched the first video where we go over the main game. I think next I'm going to probably again, because like I said, I'm trying to keep this down to like just a few videos. Again, didn't want to do a whole one giant video on everything. I think next is going to be Castle Grayskull, so we can see the Assault on Castle Grayskull expansion, as well as see the actual big Castle Grayskull that came with all of this. So make sure to tune in for that. It will be part of this playlist. So that is it for me. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.